Welcome to Buzz on Veterans, brought to you by Operation Barnabas. I'm Chris Budihas. I'm your host for today. And what we're doing in our segments are spotlighting veterans in our community and what they're doing in their post-military career. Today I have Kathleen Murray from County Citizens Defending Freedom.
You got it.
So thanks for coming here today.
It's a pleasure.
It's good to see you. Thanks for
nice
your
to see
service.
you. Oh,
yeah.
You're quite welcome.
So tell me, where are you from? What you do in the military, and what are you doing now, and why?
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I'm from a little bit further south. I was born and reared in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, you must be freezing today then.
I am.
Okay.
I hate the cold. And anyhow, I went to the Naval Academy right out of high school, graduated in 1984, and initially a supply officer.
Yeah.
But I wanted to be an operator. And as opportunities opened for women, I laterally transferred to surface warfare.
Yep.
And so I spent 20 years as an active duty naval officer, mostly at sea.
Yeah, it's great.
And
I mean,
had my children at the end of my career when I was on shore duty primarily. So
Okay.
I was able to have both.
And you stayed here in the Jacksonville area.
No, actually, I retired in Norfolk, Virginia.
Okay. Another big Navy town?
It is.
Yeah.
It's a big Navy town. When Jacksonville says, "Oh, we're a Navy town," I laugh. It's like, no, you're a wannabe Navy town. Norfolk is a Navy town.
Yeah,
It really is.
yeah.
I mean, everybody is Navy.
Yeah.
And it was a great place to be retired, but I was a homesick Floridian, and I hate the cold. And so we moved here with our youngest child about 4 years ago.
So tell me what you're doing with County Citizens Defending Freedom.
Well, I'm the executive director for Duval County's County Citizens Defending Freedom.
Yeah.
And it's a local watchdog group, and it's based on biblical principles. And we teach citizens how to defend their constitutional rights and liberties.
Okay.
And we're very active, and our motto is local light, local action.
Okay. So really informing the population on what's their rights and then how to defend them. Yeah.
Right, and then we take action, and
Yeah.
we do it in a much different way, I think, than what other organizations purport to do as well. We've been very effective in just the last 2.5 years. We've effected a lot of really positive change, I believe.
Okay, that's great. So what makes you different than other organizations in this space?
Well, we have a code of conduct.
Okay, and what does that mean for our audience?
All right, so the code of conduct is, again, we're a faith-based organization, and it's based on the Matthew 18 principle that says, if I have an issue, say with you, Chris, or say the mayor, or a school board member, before going public with this, I'm going to go to you one-on-one.
That's
Actually,
great.
I'll take a volunteer with me. And so, and we'll discuss the issue and try and make you see the error of your ways.
Yeah.
And if you change, great. We just leave it at there and we support you. But if not, we're going to shine the light, and we're going to bring more volunteers out to maybe do an email campaign, to speak at at school boards or city council meetings.
Yeah. That's positive. You know, it's funny in our society, you know, I won't say how old I am, but watching the evolution of social media, it's almost the go-to, right? If I don't like what you're doing, I'm going to slander you or say something on social media, where here it's like, hey, no, you got to be a little bit mature in your emotional intelligence and actually go talk to the person. In many cases, they may not realize what they're doing and may see the error of the ways, as you stated, or they may say, no, I'm very hard on this for the variety of reasons. And then the conversation, you get to see both sides of the aisle, then you take appropriate action from there.
That's right.
Yeah.
And being nonpartisan facilitates that as well. So, for example, when we went to the school board meetings in November and December, and we were reading from books that were highly inappropriate and highly sexualized and should not be in public schools, because of the way that we handled ourselves, because we had emailed the board in advance. Following those meetings, I got a phone call back from a board member who said, hey, let's sit down and talk about this. And so we sat down with the superintendent, and she explained that there's only 2, maybe 3 media specialists in the entire county to review all the books.
Wow.
So I was like, no problem. I got about 400 people in my organization, and last week we finished reviewing all the books A through Z in the entire DCPS. I'm sending them to the superintendent, and she said she's going to review them, and now we're so much further ahead than had we just gone to the meetings, railed on the podium, shouted insults, etc.
That's funny. For the audience, that's a great way to actually look at, you know, how do you conduct yourself in order to, you know, the meet in the middle. And in many cases, I tell folks, a boss told me a long time ago when I was a captain on staff, He was one of our majors. He said, you know, my approach to people is, you're a great American until proven otherwise. You know, he goes, nobody wakes up to be a communist. He goes, most people are good Americans. They just don't realize maybe they're making some missteps, and you show them and they go, oh, I didn't realize I was doing that. So for the audience, if they want to see what you're doing in the organization and their local community, how do they find you?
Well, they can go to County Citizens Defending Freedom,
yeah,
or ccdfusa.com. They can join us at our monthly meeting.
Okay.
And that's on the third Wednesday of the month. They can shoot me an email.
Okay.
K Murray
at
ccdfusa.com.
Oh, that's great.
And
is your meetings at one location, or does it move around?
No, it's one location. It's
okay.
at Jumpin' Jack's House of Food, and just across the plaza from the Wounded Warrior Project.
Okay.
And because I'm military, I'm OCD about time. I start on time at 6:30, and I'm going to end on time.
God bless you. Well, you're holding at Jumpin' Jack's. I mean, sure, people are coming there hungry, so.
No, actually, they open just for us.
Oh, did they really? Oh,
yeah,
that's
so
great.
It's great, but people are able to get something to eat prior to the meeting because it's the dinner hour. And we honor your time. And we pack in a lot of information. If you want to know what's going on in Duval County in the world of education, at the city council level, we do that. We have 4 divisions. My volunteers, one leads faith division, the other education, the other election integrity, and then the other one ties it all together is research and analysis. If you want the real story, the follow the money story behind all these issues, come to our meetings.
That's great, especially in a world with disinformation from all directions. I appreciate it. Hey, so thanks a lot for your service.
You're welcome.
Thank you for coming in today.
Me.
It's good to have you. So, as we were saying earlier, beat Navy, go Army, or go Navy, beat Army. So we'll see what happens next. Absolutely, for sure. So, hey, thanks a lot for this segment, sponsored by Operation Barnabas. You know, basically out there in Kelly County doing great things and beyond, helping our veterans that are in need, trying to get back on their feet. So over 500 lives saved and moving in the right direction. So go check them out, operationbarnabas.com, and we'll see you at the next segment.
Operation Barnabas is a veterans ministry, started in 2017 with the purpose of helping our veterans that kind of got left behind, and you know, they've struggled with addictions, PTSD, suicidal thoughts, those kind of things, helping them get whole again. They're one-to-one mentorship.
Being able to communicate with them and help them can drastically change their life, can drastically change a family's life. The little that we can do is put our hand out and say, hey, do you want a hand up?